Welcome to the first video of 2024. Today I'm going to go over my reading goals for 2024, and I'm also going to be doing my January TBR. This is the first year that I'm going to do any reading goals. Last year, I think the only reading goal that I had was to actually read books. Since I started really late in the year, I started at the end of October, so I didn't really have any goals set in place. I just wanted to start my reading journey, which I did, so I guess I accomplished it. I have 5 reading goals this year, and the first goal is to focus more on quality than quantity of books. I don't have a specific number of books that I want to read this year. I know that I want to read as many as I can, but I don't want to pressure myself into reading a bunch of random books just because I want to meet my reading goal for this year. I kind of put one in place, but I'm not going to be super strict on it. My second reading goal for this year is to finish a full fantasy series. I started reading the Cruel Prince series, and my goal is to finish it. There's only 3 books, so I think it's doable, but I want to read like a full fantasy series. My third goal is to read a few, or at least one nonfiction book. I want to read like a biography of somebody or like anything that is nonfiction, because I've only been reading fiction books and I kind of want to branch out a little bit and kind of have like a little bit of variety in my reading. My next goal is to only buy books as I read, because I don't want to buy books and then have them just sit in the shelf. I want to have no more than 5 unread books on my bookshelf. Right now I think I have like 10 or so books on my shelf that I have not read. They're just kind of just sitting there. But I want to have just the books that I am actually reading or I'm going to read in the near future. I don't want books to just sit there for months. And then my last reading goal is to keep track of all of the new words that I read, just because I know reading increases your vocabulary, so I want to keep track of that and see how many new words I learned. So those are the 5 reading goals that I have this year. I don't know if I want to add more, but these are the 5 that I'm going to keep for now. I think I'm going to revisit like halfway through the year to see how I'm doing in these goals. So since it's January, the beginning of January, it's January 2nd actually, I want to do a January TBR. And I really thought about TBRs this year and the way that I want to do them. I am going to start off the year like this. I don't know if it's going to change. It's probably going to change because I change my mind a lot. But this is how I'm going to do it. I know that every month I want to pick 3 books that I for sure want to read, but then also have room for books that I randomly find and want to read in the moment, because I'm a really big mood reader. So I know like the 3 that I want to read, and then I want to add like 2 to 3 more books that I just like randomly find in the bookstore or in the library and want to add to my monthly TBR. So the 3 for sure books that I want to read this month in January is the book Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I read Icebreaker last year and I surprisingly loved that book. Like, I loved it so much. So this month I want to continue the series and read Wildfire, and I know the 3rd book in this series is coming out in June, so it's coming out in the summer, and I was gonna wait to read this before the 3rd book came out, but I don't want to wait. I want to read it this month. The second book that I want to read is one of the books that was suggested since I really liked Icebreaker, and it's called Collide by Bal Cabra. I think that's how you say her last name, I'm not sure. This one is actually a little bit water damaged, and I was really sad because it was delivered when it was raining and it was left out in the rain and it got soaked. So I tried drying it. The spine is kind of wrinkled and the pages are a little bit wrinkled, but I don't want to return it because it was a gift. I want to read Collide this month. And the covers are really similar and they kind of go together. They have like that cute little cartoon and cute colors. And the 3rd book that I really want to read this month is The Wicked King by Holly Black. I just finished The Cruel Prince yesterday and I loved it. I really loved the story. I was reading it and my boyfriend was studying next to me, and I just like kept giving him updates of the things that were happening because they were so shocking, and I kept gasping, and he was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Nothing, it's just the things that are happening in the book are just like, oh my gosh." So I just finished it yesterday and I want to continue the series. So I think this is going to be the fantasy series that I complete this year. But knowing me, because I'm such a big mood reader, I might, and hopefully I don't, but I might just stop the series after the second book and then not pick up the third book unless I really, really want to read it. And even like right now, The Wicked King is the second book, but like I'm not like I have to read it right now because there's other books that I want to read too. So it is going to be in my January TBR, but I don't know if I'm like going to read it. I don't know if that makes sense. Problems of a mood reader. And then I also have the next two books that are on my January TBR are just like maybe books because I kind of want to read them, but it's not like I want to read them right now, but if I have time to read them in January, I will. The first book is Light Lark by Alex Astor. This has been on my TBR for like ever, and I've been wanting to read it, so I'm gonna put it in my January TBR, and hopefully I'm in the mood to read it. And the second book just came out not too long ago, and I want to read the second book as well because I heard that one is really good too. And then the fifth book that I have on my TBR is by a Hispanic author. I'm Mexican, so I kind of want to read more Mexican authors too, just to kind of incorporate my Mexican heritage into my reading hobby. So the fifth book is called Flores and Miss Paula by Melissa Rivero. I read the little summary of it, and it just has to do with like Mexican family with the mom and the daughter, and their relationship and how complicated it is after the father passes away. And it just reminded me of like that Mexican family culture that I grew up with. So I want to read it this month. Hopefully this month. If I don't read it this month, then maybe next month. But it's gonna be on my list. Okay, so I really want to start reading one of these books because I just finished a book yesterday. I finished The Cruel Prince. So I want to start reading a book today, but I don't know which one because I want to read all of them. But I don't really like reading more than one book at a time, but I wish that I could because I want to read all of these 5 books. That being said, I am going to use the Wheel of Names website to put the names of all of the books that I want to read this month, and then I'm going to spin it, and then it's going to tell me which one I should start with. I think that's going to make my life easier. Okay, so I added, I don't know if you can see all of the names. Oh my gosh, and I accidentally clicked the spinner. I don't want to see. Which one is it? Oh, I am going to start reading Light Lark. I'm actually really nervous. Like, I don't want to start it because I don't want to be disappointed. I'm going to be so sad if it's not good. I know it's going to be good. I'm a little nervous to start it because I want to like it so much. Every time I start a new book, I'm so worried that I'm not going to like it. That is like my problem at the moment because I've had books that I had to DNF, and never in my life did I think that I was going to do that to a book. But there was 2 books last year that I just could not finish reading, and I was so excited for them, but I couldn't finish them. So my first book of the year is going to be Light Lark by Alex Astor, and I am so excited. I think I'm going to do a reading vlog reading this book because I have been following Alex Astor. I've been following her since her second book came out, Nightbane. I like followed her, and then it came out like a few days later, and I was so excited for her because she was so excited. So I'm excited to read this one. So I am definitely going to do a reading vlog. So if you want to watch me read, because I am a reactor, I react to everything that happens in the books. So if you want to see me reading the first book of January 2024, make sure you are subscribed. And if you want live updates before I post a video, make sure you follow my Bookstagram. It's at Sandra's Reading Log. I always post what I'm currently reading there, and I also post little updates and little mini reviews. And I'm definitely going to do updates for Light Lark on there. Okay, that is it for this first video of 2024. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you comment down below any of your reading goals for this year and any books that you have in your January TBR, because I love knowing what people are reading, especially if they're reading a book that I have read before or currently reading. That way we can have discussions about the book without spoiling it. It's just the best feeling. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna end the video right here. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram. Okay, bye!